So yes, this is insane at night. Yeah, I had to make this again because the first one in the first one you didn't see anything. So the question was, when creating a hardstyle bass slash kick, what would you suggest being the best way to start out? Would samples at different pitches be useful? Um, yes, the pitching kick. Um, So first of all, I have loaded a Q EGU in here in my master line just because I'm doing this at night, so I don't want to wake people up. So I've got all of the bass away. But anyways, I've also loaded this hard kick sound I have from a pack, uh, which sounds like this, which is the sort of normal kick you can hear in all of these sort of packs. Well, probably even a better than normal. But anyways, yeah, it works on C5. Yeah, it works fine. But when we go up here, it gets sort of shorter and there starts to be all of these strange sounds. If you go even higher, it's just a fart. And lower, it messes up the sound completely. So this is why I wouldn't recommend on using any samples for kicks. But if you want to get started quickly, yeah, but you are very limited on your scale, what you can do with it. I mean, you have to roll with just about, I mean, about there is the upper limit, somewhere around there. So you can even use an octave of this sample correctly. Uh, yes. Uh, what was it? Would samples at different pitches be useful? Obviously, if you have the samples already in different pitches, yes, use them. I mean, if you have done them like that, yes, use them. But still, making them yourself will be the best. Just because people tend to recognize the kicks if they are from samples. That's why I try to avoid them when I do the reverse. Although I don't know how to make it properly myself, but still I rather do it myself than use a sample because people really know if it's taken from. I mean, it's okay to use them. Again, I use them too at sometimes, but still. And I mean, the good rivers are already used in so many songs that it kind of flows through. But yeah, anyways, this is not probably directly to Lugia because I checked your songs a little actually this evening, and I think you have done something with synthesis. But anyways, for the people who are watching this and haven't done, really try to learn the stuff first. Try to learn what the oscillators do. I mean, it is the main thing. This is the core for it, and then well, the sub thing is not that common. But try how all of the mixing, try how the filtering works, try how all of this enveloping works, and try out how the LFO affects stuff. This is probably not the best one to show, but it is so much better to show than stuff like Citrus, because Citrus is not a good one to start with. It is just not that kind of simple. So really, try to look for a free synthesizer first. Like, well, I don't know if this is free because I think I got this through computer music. If not, I'm sorry, I just told you something illegal. Uh, but yeah, these days, I mean, you can get. I mean, I use Hydra for my kicks. I mean, once you have learned this, then you can move on this stuff. I use Hydra. Uh, the version that was before of this, I can't remember the name for it. Sorry, I'll add it in the description if I do remember it. is free today, so you should get it. I mean, it's pretty much exactly the same as this one, except that it doesn't have the routing, but you don't really need to have the routing in it. And I guess it might even be there, but you just don't get it this cool looking. Yeah. But anyways, now, I mean, I won't be showing you the whole kick, because as I said earlier, it has taken me like dozens, if not hundreds of hours of trying to make this work. I mean, it's something that I have like literally cried over and sweat over. I don't know if I have shed blood over it. Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, it is really something that is like, which almost made me stop making the music. But I guess that has just made me stronger in the thing. In, I mean, today. So really learn to use this. In this one, what the most important things are is that you know again how the oscillators work. You know the difference of these envelopes. Well, with the kick you don't actually even need this filtering stuff, but it is good to know still. I mean, I use them when I do the reverse kicks, or even reverb stuff. It sounds pretty cool when you work it with this. Oscillator 3 you won't need, the glide you won't need with this stuff. Same goes for LFO and chorus and bass effects. Well, you could maybe use bass effects, but that is not needed. And same goes for pretty much all of these in the right. I hope you can actually see the mouse. I don't remember if it's set up. But anyways, let's go. This is a very quick way. I mean, the very bass sound. I'm sorry. What you hear. Let's put. Wow, I can't even hear it myself because of the cutting. So, well, let's hope we can hear something soon. Well, there's a very, very small dune sound. Yeah, I didn't want to wait until tomorrow to make this because I want to remember it then. But yeah, that is the bass that you have. That is. But then, obviously, the first thing we do, well, not obviously, we turn this up. We don't even need that much of it. So we have this. Now we can hear something that is a bit too loud for me. So let's take off release. And let's take off sustain. There we go. So now this is where comes the kick part actually. And you can work it out with this. I mean, you can do pretty much. You can do the noise controller, unity kick and stuff like that with this. But yeah, if you want to make the drop harder, you just lift the decrease and decay, whatever. It's something like that. I tend to like to use pitch down, but don't start using it in the beginning when you are learning. I mean, because it's a pretty easy way of wrecking your sound with this. But yeah, next we will do this. Because that brings the oscillators way down, while you still have the controls over it. So, we will ramp this up. And we don't actually need that. So that is pretty much what I have as my base. That is the stuff that I have. I may work around a bit. I mean, this is very quickly made. I tend to use like at least an hour tweaking these so they are perfect combined with the other stuff. But yeah, this is the very, very quickly made base for it. So the next thing you do is, let's bring this sound in here, and then you root it. I mean, before we do this, I'll teach you something. Well, you may know it already, but you shouldn't keep it as obvious thing. Is that, yes, you hear one kick. Yes, that is one kick. But the thing is that the kick is actually, you have to think it in three parts. First is the talk, which is the very short, like is it 100 milliseconds long sound you hear, the sound, and then comes the main sort of part in there, and then after that you have the tail which fades out and has more of the bass in it also. Uh, so yeah, that's the way how you have to think the kick. So we will, well, this is not directly doing it, but anyways, let's do it. What we do is actually split the track into 3 parts, which is like that. Sorry, I had my mind cut there. So we will name them low, mid, and high. Then once we have done this, we will combine them all again. Like this. Oh, not like that. There. Rename it kick, if you want. Then what you will do, and this is like, it might take all of the 8 bits, it might not take it. I don't remember how much I have stuff in there. But the basic idea for all of these 3 lines is to do these kind of combos for you. And this is something that you just have to work out. Yeah. Is to, well, actually I'm going to use the stuff that is in FL Studio for EGU. So you have to use EGU and then something that gives you the distortion, which one good is the camel fat and other good is homicide, and also I like Quadra Fromage. Yeah. Then also the isotope trash might work. I haven't tried it myself, but these are the 3 that I tend to use when either doing the hardcore kick or the hardstyle kick. So yeah, let's take those away. I'm actually not, well, I will show what you do here. I mean, you will keep this in the base, but you take off the LFOs. Let's actually try. You can see that it's clipping a lot. That's okay for now. Yeah, you want to take all of these away and pull these down, and then this is again quickly made, so it was probably something like this. I'm sorry if this is wrong. Wait, I guess it was something like this. So you have something like that, and then you can add a bit of tube or excite or something like that, and then just work out with this EGU part. I mean, I can't even hear the lower stuff, so I can't do anything for this. But yeah, so you have to think the kick in 3 parts, where the first one, this is the longest part, is that, I mean, the bass is the longest, quite obviously, is that you try to get the low sound right. Well, first you can actually do this, so you hear just the low stuff, which is not pretty, I mean, very available, I mean, hearable right now. But you try to find it, and really this, yeah, the other thing that you really have to learn before even trying to make this is learn to use EGU, learn to cut stuff away, learn to do these spikes while not wrecking all of the sound, learn to work this kind of way. Because if you don't know how to use the EGUs, I mean, distortion effects are easy to use. You just crank it up until you hear something cool. That is pretty much what you do. I mean, you just play with all of the filtering and stuff like that, and then it sounds good. But I mean, that's the way I do stuff still. I mean, there maybe are some people who say like, yes, and then you put 1500 millihertz in here and then it works out. But I mean, that's not the way you should do it. You have to use your ears, not your eyes. I mean, your eyes are a big help, but don't use just them. But yeah, do something with the EQs in all of these three. And then you get maybe not a good sound yet. But one thing that it is certainly missing is the talk part. Although right now you can hear a bit of it. But this is actually a very good trick that I learned or found out in a certain video in YouTube. Is that you put a compressor in here. So, I mean, this is just going to take a while to make, so I'm not going to show again. Sorry for you if you are looking this to get a good tutorial. I'm not the guy to give you a tutorial on the kicks. That is just a short answer. Yeah, but what you want to do is sort of have a compressor which has this hard knee. Pretty much all of them should have it, but if it doesn't, make it have it. Yeah, which has this so hard sort of drop in there, and we can, let's try. I don't remember the settings once again, I'm sorry, but that is just because I have like I have made the effect line for myself, so I don't have to do this again and again and again. But what you want to have here is like, there you hear you see the spike there. That's a bit too harsh. But yeah, I mean, that's what you are trying to aim for with the stuff. You get the kick done. But yeah, after this is done, you render it as wave file. I mean, I tend to like to use these 2 bars as my sound. And you fade it out by automating it. So you just take this and create automation clip, and you just if I can find it, there we go. I mean, this is going into very basic stuff, but it's probably better to just show it. So you have to do just something like this, and you can even crank this up, because that's okay. Like that, and then you fade it out like that. So you get you get pretty much all of the bass stuff for the kick done in there. You have the talk in the beginning, which is a bit too loud in mine right now, but you know that everything is not done in it. So it's talk, then you have the main part, which is around there, and then it fades out nicely. I mean, actually, I don't. Yeah, I mean, now you can actually do this. Just pull the sustain up. So you have all of the sound there. So that is pretty much how you do the stuff. But now at this point you probably are missing still the bass. I mean, some of it. So what you want to do with it is to, once you have rendered it, you again make a new project or do it in the same one, where you put it in somewhere here. I'm going to use the same one. Then you just use some kind of a beefener. So sausage fattener might be good. I don't know. I haven't tried it myself. I don't use waves or bass. And just go for some low frequencies. Somewhere around, well, 32 is the lowest, and maybe 50 to 60 is maybe the highest, somewhere around that area. Try to find a good amount of it, and then try to find a good balance between this. So there you have that done. So once you have that done, you again, and you can still again, you can EQ it again. I mean, this is the part where you try to fix some of the oddities you get from the sound. Like there might be, it's generally a good idea to lift some of these mid to higher mid areas, while still maybe cutting even some of the top, and maybe even dropping some, like the 300 Hertz area is often kind of the area which you try to cut as much as possible. but don't do this. I mean, I don't think it's going to sound good. Try to stay within the sensible limits. Like, don't go and do some, how much, 30 dp drops or lifts. And then what you want to do around here is to find the sort of sweet spot for the kick. I don't remember quite. I mean, it also depends a bit on how the original sound works, but it is around 80 to maybe 120 hertz. There is a sweet spot where the kick sounds better, louder, and stuff like that. And try to lift it up a bit while cutting some stuff around it so you can make it a bit clearer. I mean, yes, you can still you can cut some stuff from the bass safely. You can very safely cut some. Yeah, you can do. There is going to be a bit of a spike stuff in here going on. So yeah, once you have that done, you have a sample. Actually, now I'm going to use my own. Let's use this one. Well, not use. This is the first one, you probably remember it, and this is the newest one. Let's take that one. Yeah, this one. So yeah, once you have your sample done, you pull it in here. Okay. So what you want to do is, again, you have the kick here. So we first of all will take that away because okay. And again, this is in wrong key right now because I think this is in I think it's in G4 might be. So you have to work it out, but you can work it out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit tired right now. Yeah, what you want to do after you have the kick done, pretty much done, is to, let's put it in 1/4, start lifting it. I mean, now you have just the one sound done, but what you want to do is something like this. No. So you get that sort of, I actually hope you can hear any of these sounds, but let's bring it on a bit more. There we go. So you can get this sort of, you get that one sound in the beginning, which is in there today. You can work it out with length of this. It is this to this is, I mean, 1/4 to 1/2 is the best area. But it also depends a bit if you want to go even higher or we have to go deeper. It might work better to make it a bit longer so you can exaggerate the thing in there. Yeah, but once you have done this, I mean, you do it for all of the keys. From like, I tend to do like from, well, when the sample is in G4 and it's the original sample, I tend to do it from C4 to C6. So I have 2 octaves to work on, while the main area, the best sounds are in here. I mean, the kick does sound pretty good in I already, but the thing is that you want to have the talk, I mean the beginning milliseconds to be as similar, I mean controllable, so it doesn't start making some silly sounds in the beginning. Yeah, but that's what you do. And again, this is something that you will have to learn to live with once you get down with the business or something like that. Is that you always well, not always, but pretty often you still have to work with the sample. So what I tend to do is, again, in this part is to have like, again, waves are based there, which sort of adds a bit more of bass there, and again an ego to fix the sound. And then, I mean, this is, again, this is even before I get to making the song. This is all of it. It takes a long time, but once it is done, it really pays off, as you can hear here. But yeah, once you have the scales, you do it all in the line here. So you have the samples all in here, and then you have all of the slides. I mean, this is the slide tool. You have all of them in here done. So then you again export to wave file, and then you get these. Let's take a new track, and we get a new slice channel. So now you have your gig pretty much done. Pretty much, this is not done. That is the funny thing. At least for me. I mean, some people tend to say that, yeah, now it is done. And sort of it is. But I want to... I mean, this way I don't actually have to do a new kick every time I do a new track. That is something that some say that it's not good, but I think it's... I mean, it's kind of silly to make a new kick for everything. So you can do this, and again the bass is away because I have got them away. So yeah, it works all the way through. Now you have this, yeah, all of the keys work, everything works completely. But yeah, once you have it, I mean, now we will probably be ready to make the song, finally, after rage and quitting and rage quitting and rage and fighting and feelings and everything like that. I have lived through them all. I know how it feels. Yeah. So yeah, now we are ready in this part, which again we will bring in egos and distorters. What you do? I mean, this is now what I tend to do these days, is bring another one. I mean, I have this sound, and then I have something which is a even more wrong sound. It has the more rubber effect in. So I bring it in another slice extract, and again dual auto slicing. Let's copy these in from here to here, and then we will do not that short, but this. So we have this sort of, this is the main sound, while this is the supporting sound in there. So we put again hardstyle kick 6 in there and hardstyle kick 5 in there. And again, the reason why the number is so low is simply because I have started using this technique for, like, I guess it was in the Jingle Bells song first time when I actually used this. So yeah. But yeah, you link this in another track again. I will again rename it kick. What I mean I tend to do is again bring waves are based here. Work out with this again, and then actually I don't even remember the correct order. I think this is first. But yeah, then I mean, this part is pretty simple what I do. It is pretty quick. I mean, this is simply because I want to bring a bit more of the high end there, what has come. I mean, it is the style in 2012, so I tend to put a bit crusher in here, somewhere around here, with a bit more sharper sound and a bit of that, and then we put a bit of that and we lift that up, and then in the top area. Again, these might be wrong. Don't take this as a exact number. I don't know. I haven't listened to it once, as you can hear. So it isn't really anything good right now. Yeah, but same thing in here. You work with this, so you get something. I don't know what it's. It sounds bad. That's okay because you have to work those out yourself. I'm sorry. But again, prog U, and again, try to make a sort of good EQ line in here, fixing some of the sounds, while again maybe lifting up the 500 to 5000k area, 5000k, 5k area. Yeah, lifting that while then making a sort of a saw in zigzag in here, while maybe cutting some of the top and cutting some of the low part away also. And then you do the same in here, and then you combine them in here, where you again EQ, at least EQ. Then it's about up to you, but that is pretty much what I do. Actually, I can show you. This is. No, I'm not going to show you. Sorry. Yeah, this video is too long already. So, well, yeah, okay. This is the trick I tend to do. Let's show it. I'm not going to show what is in this, but this is the exact kick that you can hear in 3. Is well, except that this is in 140. Then we will open this. So as you can see, there's waves or bass, there's, oh, okay, sorry, EQ is before onensane. That is the line. Then we have in the kick, the combo. And now you see a bit more stuff, because I have some effects there which I use in the song, but they are not in use, as you can see, they're all down. So pretty much all there is the EQ, which again is to remove some of the bass, because there was too much of bass, and then add some of the mid stuff, because it was, I mean, it wasn't balanced enough, so I wanted to balance it a bit more. But again, I work in like 3 decibels all the time, so it's very minor. And this is always what you have to do with EQ, is that don't go and try to like, whoa, I have a massive peak in there, because most likely you will just fork up the sound, and it won't benefit anyone. So try to stay within a sensible area of sound. Yeah, so we can bring, now we have this done, we can bring in the reverse, which is actually, my reverse are horrible, they are bad. This is my reverse. Oh, again, it's missing the bass, but the new ones are a bit. But yeah, this is the sound I used for 3. It makes me laugh, because it is not the sort of reverse you would expect. Whoa, and now it's not even working. Oh, it's of course because I have forgotten this. So yeah, dull audio. Okay, so it sounds like a fart. But then we will, I'll pull this back, put it here, and we combine it with the kick, and now we have reverse, which has 2 EQs to cut some of the bass away, because I didn't need it, because I have the kick there which gives the bass. And here again, it cuts off all the bass and all of the high sounds, because I don't need them. The high sounds are made by all of the hi-hats. And the E-thrasher is to make it sound better. And there we go. Obviously it gets exaggerated up the tops, but I didn't use those sounds, so I didn't have to care about them, because if we put it lower, now don't do that though. But if I put them lower, it sounds better and stuff like that, which works with free, and especially once you have all of the stuff laid up on it, it sounds good. And this is one thing that, yeah, once you have the kick done here, like you have scaled it, really don't think that the kick is done. You just, I mean, you always have to fit the kick. So even if it sounds like, yay, this is the best kick in this part, this is the best kick I have ever heard, I have ever done, I will ever do, it, yeah, it might sound good alone, but once you put it in the song, you might hear that something is not working out. But that is the stuff that you have to learn with EGOs. So really, learn to use EGOs. Learn to use the oscillators, but learn to use EGO. Learn to know, I mean, learn to want to cut the low sounds. Learn to cut all of the high sounds. Everything you don't need. Anything that is either done by another part or then something that, because if you use too much of low sounds, you have this muddiness effect in there, which often just breaks the sound. I mean, once you have too much of stuff going on in the bass, you have too much of stuff going on. That is pretty much the fact. So you have to try, especially with the bass stuff, you have to try to limit it to just one sound and just work it with one sound. Like, well, I mean, well, here I have two, but, oh yeah, this is what I actually forgot, is that the milliseconds. Try to work with them, because they tend to do magic when you work, I mean, change them a little. But I hope I didn't forget anything. But yeah, once again, Lugia Dialga. Oh wow. It's 2 a.m. I'm talking too long. Oh no. Yeah, Lugia, I will send you a cool pack, hopefully. I mean, I will try to combine something which will have like some talks, maybe. Oh, and I forgot to say it. Yes. As for the samples, we are going way back, which I should have said like in the beginning. As for the samples, yes, it's good to use talk sounds in the sample, I mean as sample, because that is, again, that is the sound that doesn't need to change. That is the one that sticks to the same note. So it's okay to use samples in that to make it beefier. Yeah. I mean, I used them until, even in You Got Mail, I think I have talk from a sample. So yeah, I will send you some talks. At least talks. I don't know what else I will send. We will see if I find something cool, because I have stuff in here. So I will try to help out with that. But yeah, Lugia, welcome to the dark side of making this thing, which will make you want to cut your, I don't know, wrist, but then you will, I don't know. Yeah. What is this? Oh yeah, this is the remix competition. I forgot to do anything for it, so I guess I'm not joining it. Anyways, this is insane. I'm sorry for sounding so monotonic for this, but yeah, I have done it in, yeah, it's 2 a.m. I really need to go to sleep. So, insane out and bye bye.